another thing that we do song of the week. So for this season, I usually pick this song of the week.
Sing?
Song? No.
Okay.
Yes, it's a whole musical.
Cool, I'm down with that.
We have a whole karaoke, like 5 minutes and stuff. Not
Oh, cool. I was like, heck yeah, I'm down.
You can have a sound of 1,000 voices calling your name. You can have the light of the world blind you, bathe you in grace. But I don't see so easily what you hold in your hands. 'Cause castles crumble, kingdoms fall and turn into sand.
Welcome back, guys. It's your girl Karina, and today we have a special guest. We have Des.
Hello. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
So before we get into it, how's everybody's day going?
It's going good.
It's going good.
It's going good. I was playing Minecraft before I got here, but it's going good.
I tried to play Minecraft and I couldn't get into it. Like it's just, I don't know. I think everything's just too square for me.
it makes me nauseous. Like sometimes when I stay on it for like more than like an hour, and I get nauseous because everything's so pixelated. So I just get away from the whole technology. It just makes me just.
So is Minecraft your favorite video game? Or?
Oh no, it's Naruto. I can destroy people in there.
And do you play that one on what console?
Xbox One.
Nice. I have one too. But mine is Gears of War. That's my favorite one. Yeah. And then from there is Horizon.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Jonathan bought me the steering wheel for Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Little Johnny.
Okay, so that's good. We had a good day too. We did a little DoorDash. I will
never do DoorDash.
Why?
It's too American.
I feel it.
Yeah.
We just do it because extra money. But honestly, before, like when we first started dating, we used to just literally ride around and just look at new places. So it's just like, might as well get paid for it while we do that. Because I don't know, it's just extra time together.
Yeah.
And then I don't work. I stay home. Yeah. So I'm always home. So going out with him and just getting extra cash is pretty fun. And then I get to drive. I like to drive his car. Yeah. But it's okay. So it's time for Song of the Week. Song of the Week today is going to be brought by our friend here. Do you want to go ahead and give us the name?
Oh, Shine Down. But How Do You Love by Shine Down.
How Do You Love by Shine Down. And I think you had mentioned it was rock?
Yeah, it's like a rock song.
Okay. Yeah. There's different type of rock, right? Is it kind of like a classic rock or like a metal rock or
like I just know it's rock. That's all.
It's enough for me because I don't really know about rock. That's all I know is like I know there's like classic rock and then there's like the metal screaming rock. Yeah. That's the one I don't like.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Okay. Well, I don't know much about you personally because this is Jonathan's friend. So, I'm going to get to meet you just like our listeners going to get to meet you for the first time today. So how about we start with, how old are you?
I'm 25. I turned 25 March the 2nd.
Oh, so recently?
Yeah. Yes.
I was like, is March coming up?
Yeah. My favorite color is green. Always green.
What type of green?
Any type of green.
Oh, nice. I like any type of green.
I'm not prejudiced or anything. But yeah. Secondary color, blue. That's about it.
Nice. Okay, so the season is dedicated to the LGBTQ community. So which letter represents you?
None letter.
None.
Letter.
So you don't have
I'm not a part of the alphabet cycle group.
I feel it. So then what are your interests then when it comes to finding the one or somebody to spend time with or anything like that?
Well, for the thing of like finding the one, like true love, everyone has their own definition of true love, but my definition of true love is someone comes and look for you. You don't look for that person. Like they will come look for you. The heart will come look for you. But yeah, I like both guys and girls. You know, it's just whoever I vibe with, and if like we like each other and everything, I'll like ask you out on a date and see where things go from there.
Have you ever been in a relationship with someone that was like strictly like, if let's just say you were dating like a guy and they were like just, I guess you can say like straight up gay or just gay? Did they ever had an issue with you having an interest in female when you ever had an interest in them, or the opposite? Like, did you ever bumped into a female that you really like, but the moment they find out that if you wanted to date a guy, you would? Was there any issue? Like, have you ever had an issue with that?
No, I haven't. Because usually, like, before, like, going on date, like, we get to know each other 1st and they know how I am. Like, I'm just, like, a nice guy. I'm not really and I'm very, like, committed, in a relationship. And, I won't just go out, and start, like, dating or talking to someone else. Like, if I'm talking to you, then my attention is going to be, like, on you. And that's it. Because I chose you to talk to, or you chose me,
Right. No, yeah, I understand that. Me personally, as being bisexual, I actually got not like hate comments, but like I was talked down on one of my previous relationships because she just couldn't date somebody that was bisexual because she didn't believe that bisexual was a thing. It's like you're just confused, and it's like no, I'm not, because it's kind of like you if. I'm with whatever gender I am at the moment. That's who I'm with. Like, I don't go around and looking for something else. You know what I mean? So I understand that. Exactly, like, I perfectly on what you mean with that part.
But that's like the thing with with people. If they say like if they know that you're bisexual and so you like guys and girls, like both genders, then they're gonna think that you're gonna cheat, like, automatically.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people, like, when you date, they don't like that. And I tell them, like, that's not true. Like, all of them won't cheat, just because, like, some of them cheat, most of them cheat, and all of them will. Like, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, they see that, and it's like, don't judge a book by its cover. Like,
yeah, because I did a girl back in school, and we were dating, and she tried to kind of get me in, like, to be okay with her dating a guy and dating me. Yeah. And at first I was like, okay, cool. But then I was like, wait, no, I don't think I like that. Like, and it's just like, I guess I see why people feel some type of way about people that are bisexual. Because it's just like, there's people like that, but it's just like, I don't even think that's like being bisexual. That's more like just being in an open relationship.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with your sexuality. Yeah. It's just like your preference on a relationship.
With that, it's like, polyamorous, like, because my friend, she's polyamorous, her and her boyfriend, and they like have an open relationship, and like they can, they're both pansexual. The other one, I don't know what he called himself now. Since all of this stuff just kind of, I don't know, became more knowing, like the LGBTQ plus LMNOP alphabet letter people. Like, I don't know, I don't know what he is now, but they just have like an open relationship. They will get dates, a guy or a girl, like invite them as a third person to the relationship, maybe a fourth. But yeah, it's just like a polyamorous open relationship thing. Some people are into it. I'm not into it. I like being with one person, not two people.
Would you ever consider it? Like, if you're really in love with a person and they're like, I kind of want to try it out, will you be willing to try it out to bring somebody else in, or letting them have like another person? Have you ever like thought about that?
I will not.
You don't think so?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about it, like probably bringing somebody else into a relationship, and at first we're like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. But then it's like, as time went, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I had my doubts. I'm assuming he had his doubts because after a while he was just like, no, I don't think so, and like we never really talked about it, and it didn't cause an issue in our relationship. Yeah. But I'm a very open person, and he's known that from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes it's different being in a relationship with someone that's completely different than you are, but it's I'm thankful that Jonathan's willing to like try shit with me, and it's like that's. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool. That's why I asked, because I feel like sometimes like love makes you do shit that you've like never thought about before.
Yeah.
Like yeah, because I do a lot of stuff with Jonathan that I'm like I wouldn't do this for him, man. No.
Yeah.
So when like okay, so what I mean, so you don't have a label, which is fine. I mean, you don't have to be labeled as anything or for anything.
Yeah.
Did you? So who did you date first? Like, did you?
I dated a girl 1st. No, actually, I dated a guy first. But I don't know if it was a date. We just liked each other a lot, and we would like always kiss, hold hands. Well, no, we didn't kiss. We always hold hands because it was like kissing is no, because we were like we were in first or second grade, and we were like kissing is like bad for like anyone, you know. So like, nah, we just hold hands and everything, and you know, people was cool with it. We was cool with it and everything. As I got older, then I dated this girl, and then we broke up, and then like after college, I dated 2 guys, and it was like pretty serious, but I was like, nah. So it ended wrong. So I was like, yeah. But I totally forgot the question. But yeah.
It was like who did you date first? So it was
It was a guy first.
So you dated a guy first.
Yeah.
Do you remember what age were you?
All I know is I was in first grade.
Oh. Well, okay.
I don't think it was a date. It was just like, you know, it was like, you know.
But it felt right.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever tell you anything? Because when you were holding hands with him, like the teachers ever say anything to you? Like did other kids ever make fun of you?
Nah.
Well, that's good. That's really good.
I was always like, all the teachers loved me, and the kids, they loved me as well. Like when I was in school, teachers and like the
You were loved by everybody.
Yeah,
like,
and I actually got an award for that.
Yeah.
Like a citizenship award or.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, but it was pretty. It was like everybody's pretty cool. I was cool with everybody. Everybody was cool with me, you know. But teachers was too.
Nice. So I guess you can say I guess so. Let me say it this way: like, who was the first person you were actually in a relationship with? Like you actually like kiss and went on, I guess, dates and hold hands. Like you were actually like, oh, this is like my boyfriend, or this is like my girlfriend.
A girl in 6th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was bi as me, as well, and everything. And it was pretty nice. You know, we dated maybe for a year, and it was pretty cool. You know, I met her family. Her family loves me. Like we will always play like Magic. Like the card game, and
I never played it. I always wanted to play it.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But her family, they treated me like their son and everything. Like no matter like the different race or if I'm bi or she's bi, whatever. Like you know, and they trusted me. Like they left us like alone at her house. You know, and they was okay with it and everything. So it was pretty cool.
So I guess you really gave good vibe kids. Good kid vibes.
Yeah.
So it just seems like you always been okay with who you are, always been like accepted by everybody. So you always been. How about your family? Your family ever had an issue with it, or like confused, or just didn't understand you, or they were just like, "You're my son and I love you. It doesn't matter."
Yeah, my family was like that, but.
Okay.
The religion that my family goes by is like, if you don't follow this religion, then you're just gonna go to hell, basically.
If you don't mind me asking, what type of religion is that?
It's called Church of the Living God.
Oh,
Yeah.
so is that like another way of? I don't know how to ask that. Like Christianity, Catholicism. It's just that's
It's like the religion is in the Bible itself.
what? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one, of that
There's
religion.
like a lot of them, especially like in Dallas. But yeah, a lot of people don't know about it. But some people that was a part of that religion, they transitioned to like Christianity and everything.
So do you I don't want to say do religion, but like, are you still like in a little bit of some type of religion now, or
Well, I believe that I believe in God. I believe like
yeah?
there's like a higher being and everything. And
Well, I
yeah.
guess like, do you go to church?
No, I do
No.
not. I do
Okay.
not go to
And that's
church.
just by choice, or did you have like a bad experience in church, or
Um, it's by choice. Yeah,
okay?
it's by choice. Kind of like bad experience, but by choice a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because over time, like I noticed, like people at church, they will always like talk down and all the people, like
Oh yeah.
strippers, whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
people that trying to make it in life in the church, like would always talk down on them, like, oh, like these people, they're gonna go to hell because they're doing this. But it's like some people, that's like the only way that they know, and no one's not gonna help them. Even the church
Yeah.
people won't help them. So
Yeah.
it's like if you're not gonna help them, then don't judge them. And plus, like you're human, you're not supposed to judge at all. Like you're not the judge, you're just human. So yeah, but
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. I understand what you're saying because I stopped going to church for a while because, first of all, because of my sexuality, the way that I grew up in my church,
mhm,
it's just like, oh, same sex, you're going straight to hell. So it's just like, oh, I can't like the same sex, I can't do this, and it just like trying to talk about it to people that were Christian in the same church that I was going to,
yeah,
like they always told me, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong. So finally, as I got older and I started to see, like, is it though? Like, is it wrong that this is who I'm deciding to like love,
yeah,
or whatever the case might be? I feel like it's more wrong that you're judging me for who I am.
exactly,
Because it's just like, if you want to go by the book or the Bible, you are much of a sinner as I am.
yeah,
And I had a bad experience with church myself. Like, it was just, I guess like that's a whole nother topic. But I stopped going to church for a really long time. But I recently I recently started going to church again, and it just feels right. I guess I also, it's a church that I picked. It's a church that makes me comfortable. I
yeah,
went to multiple churches before I found this one,
yeah,
and it's just, I see so many different people with tattoos, piercings, females that wear pants, and because back when I was going to the type of church that I grew up with, you couldn't wear pants, you couldn't wear heels, you couldn't wear jewelry, you couldn't
yep,
wear makeup, and that's who I grew up, and that's what I believed for a really, really, really long time.
yeah,
And it's just, sometimes I think to myself like that I am a lot bigger of a sinner than I think I am sometimes, because then I look back to how I grew up in the church and how I live now, and it's just like, damn, I'm going to hell. Because I drink, and I drink and I do drugs, and I
yeah,
having sex outside of marriage and dating us, because from what I went to, we couldn't even date outside of our race, let alone the same sex. So um I know it's really hard sometimes to come out when you have religion on your back, like breathing on your neck so
yeah.
hard. So um but it didn't seem like you had that really
No,
bad experience.
no, but I helped like a lot of people like that though. But yeah, when I like, so the thing with my grandma, like my grandma cried and my mom cried.
Oh,
But
when you finally told them?
well, the
Or
thing about me is like, if you ask me, then I'll just tell you. But
right.
my family, they didn't ask me. Well, my mom asked me before, and I was like, I'm bi, whatever. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but she forgot. She always forgets stuff. Um, but my grandma, she saw me, because she bought me this old cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
and with that like cell phone, I was like, text. I met a guy on, I can't remember. I think it was Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and he lives like in Florida or whatever. And we would like always text and everything. We exchanged phone numbers. We would always text and everything. And so she found my phone, whatever. No, she got a phone call. I got a phone call from my aunt, and my aunt told me to give the phone to her, and I was like, okay, cool. So I did. And then after that, like my aunt, she hung up, and she saw like the messages, whatever. She was going through my phone. I was like, oh, and she was like, hey, Des. I was like, yeah. And she's like, come here. And so I went downstairs into our room and everything. She was like, you gay? And I was like, no. Bye. And she was like, oh, she was like, come here. And I was like, oh, what's up? And she was like, she was like, this isn't right, right? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, well, it's up to me, but I was like, and I told her I was like, yeah, because old heads like that, if you say something wrong, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, my heart's broken. But but yeah, I was like, yeah, I know it's not right, whatever. Just make her like feel happy and everything. But she cried and I saw a tear and everything, so I gave her a hug. I was like, it's okay, and then I just went back to doing what I was doing outside. But yeah, my mom, she did the same thing. Like she found my phone in my shoe, like when we was moving, and she got mad or whatever. But that's something. And then she asked me, no, she didn't ask me. She found my phone in my shoe and she told me, like, you're gonna be in big trouble and everything. So it was outside. She was yelling and screaming at me and everything. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I gotta find a way to like, save myself. And I was like, you know what? I was like, Mom, I like guys. And she was like, what? I was yeah. I was like, I like guys and girls.
That's a curveball.
Yeah, it was, and I wasn't in trouble anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, like I was very like mischievous, smart, conniving. I was all that stuff, and I knew it, and I knew like how to manipulate too. But I don't do it anymore because it's bad. But yeah, that's how my family found out. So
what about like? Do you have any siblings, or are you the only child?
I do. Also, my aunts and uncles, they look up to me. They told me that they look up to me because we always like all of us had like a bad past, whatever. And it was like you're the one that like came out like good, and you like looking forward and everything. And we look up to you. And my mom, she said the same thing. Like I look up to you, and I'm proud of you and everything because you're doing this, and you got your own place, got your own car. You're doing this and everything. I was like, yeah. But siblings, I have like. Let me see. I don't know. I have like a lot on my dad's side. On my mom's side, I only have like there's 2 on my mom's side. On my dad's side, there's like more than 9.
Oh, holy shit!
Yeah, probably more. Actually, there is more. But
are you close to any of them?
The ones on my dad's side, not really. A little bit of my sister and brother. My sister, she just turned 22 yesterday.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we were a little bit close. They actually reached out to me when I turned 17 or 18 years old. But yeah, my older brother on my dad's side, he's like 32. I'm not close to him. I don't like him. He's very God complected. He thinks he's God, like literally, and he'll like judge everyone, and he will think that you cheating. He will judge you like
by anything, just by the way
like,
you breathe,
by your race too, and he'll be like, oh, that she's cheating on him because she's like Hispanic and he's black, and like it's like, no, dude, that's you don't know if she's cheating, you don't know they're together and everything. And yeah, he did that to a couple because it was like this guy and this girl, she was pale, and no, she had a tan, and he was pale, and he was like, like she's cheating on him, right? I was like, why you say that? He was like, because he doesn't have a tan like her and everything. I was like, you don't know if she's cheating on you, don't even know if they're brother and sisters, like, dude, like really? And they were just outside, just walking outside the store and everything. And I was like, oh, I know that they're cheating and doing all this stuff. I'm like, dude, shut up. And he was like bashing other like people, religions, everything. He was like, this God suck, that God suck. I'm like the only true God and everything. And the only things happen is when I walk into that room. That's when everything else starts to happen and everything. I'm like, no.
Has he ever talked down on you because of
first time meeting me? Yes.
First time meeting you?
17, 18 years old. Yeah.
And how did I go? Like I know you already said that you don't like the guy, but like,
yeah,
like, what's that like?
My first interaction with him.
Yeah, and that makes it even worse. Like your first interaction with him, and it's like you haven't even given me a chance to walk through the door, and you're already talking shit.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to get to know me. He was like, hey, I heard you told your brother and sister that you're gay. And I was like, well, I'm not gay. Like, I like both, genders. I like guys and girls, whatever. And he was like, why didn't you tell me? I was like, well, you didn't ask.
Right.
And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, and he started asking me like some questions and everything. And he was like, Adam, and he was like, God created Adam and Eve and everything. And in my head,
I've gotten that shit too.
and in my head, I'm like, didn't you say you're God though? So what? But yeah, he was telling me like, he was like, do you have your own like, place? Do you have your own car? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't want my own car because I like walking to my job because my job by car was like 5 minutes. By walking, it was like 30 minutes. But I like to walk anyway. So I was like, no, I either ride my bike or a skateboard or I just walk to work. Like, I don't need to drive anywhere else. Why should I have a car? I don't want to like have extra bills that I'm just paying for nothing,
Yeah, I understand
And
that.
he was like, why didn't you have your own place? I was like, well, I like to live with my grandma right now because that's my grandma and my great grandma, I like to take care of them and I like being with them. So that's why I don't have my own place. And he was like, oh,
But
he was
weren't
like,
you like 17 at the age anyway?
yeah, I was like
So it's
17,
just-
18 and he's like
It's like
32.
he already wants you with a mansion and a Lamborghini.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. And I was like, why would I waste money like that? Doing all this other stuff. Like I have a place, my family, they love me. I'm helping my family out. I'm being there for my family and everything. And I don't need the car because I'm not going everywhere. And if I do, I can just walk to the store. I like walking, So
it just seems like you could have been doing so much worse that he could have been judging you for,
yeah.
and he's judging you based off who you decide to lay with instead of what
Exactly.
you're doing. You could have been a murderer, you could have been a drug addict, you could have been an alcoholic, and he probably would have been like, oh, it's fine, just read the Bible.
Yeah.
And this is like, oh no, that's not the right way. And it's just like, you're not the right way.
Yeah.
That's
And with the whole thing of like it didn't to the certain point when he was talking down on me and everything, like I told my aunt, Aunt Lisa, she's mixed like with a lot, but mainly like black and Hispanic. And like I told her the story and everything, and she got mad. She was like, I really want to beat him up so bad. I told a lot of people that story and they wanted to beat him up so bad and everything.
yeah.
And she was just like, what did she say? She didn't like to do it at all. But to the point where me and my brother was talking, he was like, I don't know you that much and that well, so I can like do anything to you. I can like kill you. I can like drop you off on the side of the highway, and I wouldn't feel anything. And in my head, I'm like, but aren't you my brother? Like,
Yeah.
just because we don't know each other.
And
then-
this comes from the person that, in quote, says, I am the God.
Yeah.
God doesn't do that.
And I was like,
I don't know
really?
what Bible you're reading or what book you're reading, but I
Yeah.
don't think any God just randomly kills somebody because they don't know them.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And he said like he can do all this stuff to me, like and he can hurt me and everything without like feeling anything, without feeling like any remorse or anything. And I was like, dude, but aren't we brothers though? Like, what do you mean? Yes, he is. Both our family is run by psychopaths. I was once one when I was a kid.
At least you're on your toes.
Yeah.
Keep
But I
showing
was
your
very
toes.
smart, like
Yeah.
with it though. So
So that was like your only bad experience, hopefully. But was that your only bad experience, like telling somebody who you are, like, or anything like that?
I want to say it wasn't really a bad experience of telling him who I was, because I had no problem telling him who I was. I just didn't like his feedback, because I'm like, you're family, but you said you can do all this like stuff to me, harm me and everything, and you wouldn't feel anything. It was much of like, we're family. But I came to know that like family, just because we're blood doesn't make us actual family.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
And that was right. And I got like a lot of people that I'm close with, and that I've been speaking with like 18, 19 years. Like I have a friend, and we practically grew up together. He came here from his country. He was from Albania, and we grew up together. And like we don't text much, but we text each other, call each other like probably 3 times a year, maybe. And we haven't seen each other in, I want to say, 7 years.
Oh wow.
And we still like talk and everything. And he feels like he's my family because it's like we're pretty close. But yeah, just because like your blood doesn't make you family.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I just want to go back to something that you had said. You said I'm not gay, I'm bi. So does it offend you a little bit when they say, "Oh, you're gay," or you're just like you don't take it offensive and you're
no.
like, "I'm just correcting you, like I'm just but like bisexual."
Yeah, it doesn't offend me at all. I'm just like, oh, like I like both genders, but it's whatever. Like you can call me gay, or whatever. It's okay. Like,
Okay,
it doesn't really like offend me. Like I'm not that sensitive person.
So it just seems like you're comfortable with in a way on how people like, oh, this is like for example, oh, like this is my gay friend Des, and you're like, oh, it's fine just because you know who you are, and you don't need to like tell everybody who you are.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of fact of them asking.
Yeah, like if I'm trying to like if you want to get to know me, I'm like, yeah, I'm bi, whatever. I like, and if you're gonna put me on the label, like just say I'm bi. But usually I tell people like I'm just Des, whatever. Like people like with labels, the label thing, it became so great that it's segregating a lot of other people, and it's not right. It's like people, they forget that they're one thing first, which is that they're human. And it's like people always be like, oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. It's like, no, the first thing first is you're human. That's your base. That's your essence. You can't change of you being human. Like you can add all these prosthetic things and everything to your body, but you're human. You was born human, unless you're born in a lab, half human, half something. But other than that, you're human. Like
yeah.
And a lot of people have forgotten that, and they gotten so weak over that because of that mentality. And people putting stuff, the internet especially, is putting stuff like in people's minds, giving them like voices or whatever. Like, yeah, you're this and you're this, giving them like, you're a platypus, you're not this person, whatever. It's like, no, like, let them, be, whoever they want to be, but they must not forget that they're human,
You saying like, oh, this is a platypus. It just a little detour. It reminded me of the show. I don't know if you ever seen it's in My Strange Addictions or something like that. It's a TV show. I think it's called My Strange Addiction. And it was this girl and she was like addicted to like acting like a dog, and she was like, I'm a dog. And it's like, bitch, you a bitch. Get up. Like
yeah.
I thought that was, I don't know.
I see that now
funny.
on YouTube
now that you said like he's a platypus, it's like, bro, for real.
And I went to it was Anime Fest. It was an anime convention some years ago, probably 2 years ago. But I met a dude. It was like a couple, I think. And but the guy, he was like a dog. He was acting like a dog, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so he's a dog person, which like I'm cool with, Just don't come up to me and start humping my leg or anything, But I didn't have no problem with like him being like a dog person, but he knew that he was human, and everything. So I was like, okay, cool. So
yeah, I think one thing about us in this world and being humans, I think it's pretty cool how we're all the same but different in so many ways. Like I think that's pretty cool.
I rarely hear that. Like when people usually refer to being human, they just refer to being human as weak. Mainly weak. Like I rarely hear like people say like, oh, like I find being human so cool or whatever. Because now if someone get hurt, like break a finger, whatever, they're like, oh, I'm only human, I can't like, heal fast, or like, I'm bleeding too much, or whatever. Like they always just fall back on like being human, like as a weakness, whatever. Like if something hurts you or whatever, something is like, that's not what humans all about. Like
I don't know. I think being human is pretty fucking dope.
I think so too.
The way that Jonathan's fingers disappear and grew back on their own,
right.
Like who the fuck does that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the superhero? What's the superhero's name that like, it's an X-Men when it, like he'll heal himself.
Yeah, Wolverine.
You only see that shit on TV, and Jonathan over here did it in like a month and a half.
Yeah. It's like it's being human is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like
that's just dope.
you
Like
gotta,
we
like-
birth babies out, man. The fuck?
yeah,
Who does that?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I have a couple more questions. But we're gonna go ahead and take a break, just really quick, because I gotta use the restroom, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Okay, cool.